Before we jump in, I do earn a referral fee when you use the services and companies I demonstrate in the video, but there is no additional cost to you. I chose them because they're the best in the industry and you're safe with them.
Have you ever wondered how you can legally pay zero income tax? Yes, you heard it right. Zero, zilch, nada. Well, the secret isn't hidden in complex tax laws or elusive loopholes. It's nestled in the tropical paradise of Puerto Rico. Known for its pristine beaches, vibrant culture, and enticing cuisine, Puerto Rico has another distinctive feature that's less commonly known. It's a tax haven. But what exactly does that mean? In simple terms, a tax haven is a place where certain taxes are levied at a low rate or not at all, making it an attractive prospect for businesses and individuals alike. Now you might be wondering, isn't Puerto Rico a territory of the United States? Yes, indeed it is. However, it operates under a unique tax structure. While it's part of the United States, Puerto Rico has its own tax system that's separate from the federal system. This means that even though you're technically still in the United States, the tax rules can be significantly different. One of the most notable aspects of Puerto Rico's tax system is the Act 60, a revolutionary tax incentive law. This law allows certain businesses and individuals to pay zero or very low taxes. Yes, you heard that right. Zero or very low taxes. It's not a myth. It's a reality for some who've made Puerto Rico their home or business base. But before you start dreaming of a tax-free life in the Caribbean, there's something you need to know. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Eligibility for these tax benefits is determined by specific criteria. And even if you meet these criteria, there's an application process to go through. Intrigued? But remember, it's not as simple as packing your bags and moving to Puerto Rico. There's a process to follow. But don't worry, we'll guide you through it in the following scenes. So, stay tuned as we unravel the secrets of paying zero income tax legally. Before we dive into the process, let's understand who can benefit from this tax incentive. First and foremost, to tap into Puerto Rico's tax benefits, you must become a bona fide resident of the island. But what does it mean to be a bona fide resident? Well, it's not as simple as buying a property and calling it a day. There are certain conditions you need to meet. First, you need to spend a minimum of 183 days in Puerto Rico during the tax year. That's half the year plus 1 day. So yes, you'll be swapping snowy winters for tropical beaches or vice versa depending on where you're moving from. Second, you need to prove that you have a closer connection to Puerto Rico than to any other place. This means more than just spending time there. You'll need to demonstrate that Puerto Rico is the center of your social, family, and business activities. Your kids might need to attend school there, or you might need to join local community organizations. Essentially, you need to show that Puerto Rico is your home, not just a tax haven. Now let's talk about businesses. Not all businesses are eligible for these tax incentives. Your business must be what's called an eligible service business under Act 60. This includes businesses like consulting, financial services, advertising, and software development, among others. If your business falls under one of these categories and you're willing to relocate it to Puerto Rico, then you may be in luck. Remember, these are just the basic criteria. There may be additional requirements or exceptions depending on your specific circumstances. Consulting with a tax professional familiar with Puerto Rican tax law is always a good idea when considering such a move. So, if you're ready to call Puerto Rico home, you're halfway there. Now that we've covered the basics, let's move on to the application process. The first step towards enjoying zero income tax in Puerto Rico is the Act 60 application. This is the legislation which allows you to take advantage of these tax incentives. The Act 60 application process can be a bit complex, so let's break it down. Firstly, you'll need to fill out the application form, which you can find on the Puerto Rico Department of Economic Development and Commerce's website. This form will require you to provide information about your business or personal income, along with other relevant details. Next, we move on to the documentation. You'll need to gather a few essential documents. These include a copy of your passport or other identification, proof of your address in Puerto Rico, and your latest federal tax return. For businesses, you'll also need your corporate documents, such as the Articles of Incorporation and financial statements. Remember, it's crucial to have these documents in order, as they will be thoroughly reviewed during the application process. Now let's talk about the application fee. There is a non-refundable fee that must be paid at the time of submission. This fee is to cover the cost of processing the application and varies depending on the type of incentive you're applying for. Although it might seem steep, remember that the potential tax savings can far outweigh this initial cost. After you've submitted your application and paid the fee, the process of obtaining a tax decree begins. The tax decree is the document that formalizes your eligibility for the tax benefits. The Puerto Rico Department of Economic Development and Commerce will review your application and, if approved, issue the decree. This process can take several months, so it's important to be patient. It's also worth mentioning that this process can be quite intricate, and there are many legal and financial nuances to consider. Therefore, it's often recommended to seek professional guidance. Hiring a tax consultant or attorney who specializes in Puerto Rico's tax laws can help ensure you've completed the application correctly and increase your chances of approval. And there you have it, the step-by-step process to apply for Puerto Rico's tax incentives. It might seem daunting, but remember, the potential savings are worth the effort. It's not every day you get the opportunity to legally pay zero income tax. Keep in mind, though, that the process doesn't stop once you've obtained the tax decree. You'll need to maintain your eligibility by meeting certain requirements, such as residing in Puerto Rico for at least half the year and making an annual charitable contribution. But we'll get into those details in the next section. Once you're granted the tax decree, you're officially eligible for the tax benefits. And with that, you've taken a major step towards significantly reducing or even eliminating your income tax. With zero income tax, the benefits seem obvious, but there's more to it, and some drawbacks too. Let's first dive into the benefits. In Puerto Rico, zero or low income tax is a huge incentive. Imagine keeping all of your hard-earned money in your pocket, without the government taking a hefty chunk. It's a tantalizing proposition, isn't it? Additionally, corporate tax can also be impressively low, making it an appealing destination for businesses. But it's not just about individual or corporate gain. These tax incentives can turbocharge the economy of Puerto Rico itself. By attracting investors and entrepreneurs, Puerto Rico can stimulate economic growth and job creation. This can lead to a virtuous cycle where increased economic activity further fuels growth and prosperity. However, as with any good thing, there are some caveats. One of the most significant drawbacks is the requirement to become a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico. This isn't a simple matter of buying a property or opening a business. It involves relocating your life, potentially uprooting your family, and establishing a genuine physical presence on the island. Then there's the application process itself. While not overly complex, it does involve paperwork and bureaucratic procedures that some might find daunting. It's not a path to be trodden lightly. Another potential drawback to consider is the impact on federal benefits. Depending on your personal circumstances, moving to Puerto Rico could affect your eligibility for certain federal benefits. It's essential to research this thoroughly and potentially consult with a tax professional to understand the implications fully. And finally, let's not forget that although Puerto Rico offers a favorable tax climate, it has its own set of challenges, from infrastructure to cost of living issues. These are factors that need to be taken into account when considering a move. So, while the tax benefits are enticing, it's important to consider all aspects before making a decision. Let's do a quick recap. We've spent some time diving deep into the world of tax incentives in Puerto Rico, a territory that could allow you to legally pay zero income tax. We've discussed the eligibility criteria, which, although stringent, are achievable and could lead to significant financial gains. We also walked you through the application process, a step-by-step journey that requires careful planning and execution, but ultimately leads to a tax-free life in sunny Puerto Rico. We didn't shy away from the benefits and drawbacks either. While the financial advantages are undeniable, it's crucial to weigh them against potential challenges, such as relocation and the implications of changing your tax domicile. In conclusion, the Puerto Rican tax incentives offer a unique opportunity to legally reduce your income tax to zero. It's not for everyone, but for some, it's a golden ticket to financial freedom. So, could Puerto Rico be your tax haven? We hope this video has given you some food for thought. Until next time, stay informed and make smart choices.